Who's ready for some true crime story time? I'm not sure why everyone isn't talking about this case because it is wild. This is MeKenna Reiley, who went missing in April of 2023 in Blue River, Oregon, which is in Lane County. This all happened at the same time where in Portland, my stepsister was found murdered and multiple other girls were also found murdered or went missing. So right away it caught my attention, and I have been in communication with MeKenna's family, mainly her sister Bevan, from the start. Let's talk about some of the main similarities that drew my attention to MeKenna's case. She is 40 years old. She's petite. She has a history of drug and alcohol abuse, but was in recovery until recent. She's a preschool teacher. She had a pretty good life going for her, outside of her own personal demons. She moved here from Pennsylvania with her childhood bestie, who is more considered like a cousin. They're like family. And MeKenna moved to Blue River when she met a boyfriend. And they didn't have the best of relationships. Apparently, she had years and years clean until she moved to Blue River, and then started dabbling in intoxicants there. In this picture, MeKenna is seen at a construction site on the morning of April 5th, where Lane County sheriffs responded to a call of a naked woman in a construction worker's van. So it turned out that the property owner had camera footage from their security cameras from MeKenna being on the property from at least 5:30 in the morning to when police officers arrived at 11:30. She was naked when she arrived, and she grabbed a pair of boots, like anything she could find really there to cover up. When the construction workers arrived at 7:45, she snuck into their van, probably to be warm. It's April, Blue River has extreme weather. And so just to be warm, it seemed like she was hiding from someone, but when police officers arrived, she said she was coming down from a bad acid trip. We're not sure if that's true or if that's just what she said to avoid getting her boyfriend in trouble, who she had a no contact order with, who we have confirmed they did have contact. The sweatshirt she was wearing was given to her by one of the construction workers. The police officer, who apparently is a mental health professional, asked MeKenna, after hearing her say she's coming down from a bad acid trip, asked her if she wanted paramedics to respond to the scene. She refused. Last time I checked, police officers are not medical providers or mental health providers. In the police report, it does note that the deputy states it appears that she was in a mental crisis at the time he arrived. However, only a short time later, he takes her to her car, which was like 2 blocks away, and where she had clothes in her car, and allows her to get dressed, takes the sweater back that the construction worker gave her, and let her drive away. So you assume that she is under the influence of intoxicants, whether she's coming down from them or not. You state that she's having a mental health crisis. You should be sending emergency medical services to her and allow her to refuse AMA and to sign that AMA form to cover your ass, to make sure that you did everything in your power to keep the citizen safe from herself and others, and ensure, her health, that she's all right. Lane County Sheriff's Department did not do that. They let her drive away and stated that they followed her home. Lane County sheriffs told the family, yes, we followed her home to make sure she got there okay. They lied. They did not. It's not in the police report, and we were lucky enough to score some ring cam footage from a neighbor's residence who shows MeKenna driving off towards her home, and there's no police officer behind her. In their report, it says that the dates are conflicting. First of all, last seen on the 6th, but the last time she was actually seen was the 5th. McKenna's Jetta was located at her house on the 6th, but MeKenna wasn't there. So the police can't even get their facts right in their own report. Not to mention lying to the family, not calling for medical assistance, and putting MeKenna in the most dangerous of situations. But wait, it gets so much more out of control and weird and just nonsensical. MeKenna leaves the police encounter location. That's the last time she's seen. Apparently, police investigate and do a bunch of interviews. I got the police reports. I have the receipts. The interviews never add up. Every time someone is spoken to, they have a different story. Something changes. It's super suspicious. With the amount of confusion and people failing polygraph tests and everything that comes to light, you would think that the police would take this more seriously, but they don't. MeKenna, as seen on the left in this photo with her sister Bevan, was then found 4 months later in the Blue River Reservoir, minutes away from where she lived and right up the street from her last encounter with police. There's a walking trail from the trailer that she was living at that goes to that area. And the state's medical examiner called it freshwater drowning, and an undetermined manner of death. He also said she had this square incision in her neck. I saw the photos that were super difficult to look at, but this family's not getting any answers and no one's doing their job. The medical examiner doesn't even make a note about what's happening to her neck, what it really looks like. He just says, oh, possibly due to turtle activity. Well, the family has a private investigator who went and talked to Oregon Fish and Wildlife. There's no turtles in the pond. The family had a private autopsy done, which contradicts everything in the state's autopsy. We asked the medical examiner for the state to talk to the private pathologist that did the private autopsy, and he refused. MeKenna, seen on the right in this photo with her sister Bevan on her wedding day, is described by many as outgoing, courageous, risk-taking, caring, compassionate, lovable, and just overall has made an impact on everyone that she has come in contact with. I'm going to put a link in the comment section or in the caption of this post for the CBS News report that goes into even more shocking detail in the family's GoFundMe. Please help out in any way you can. Let's request and demand answers and justice. I'm going to keep doing videos about this case until it finally gets the attention it deserves and the family gets answers and justice for what happened to MeKenna. Let me know in the comments what else you want to know, because I got more and it gets even crazy.